All right, welcome everyone. My name is Dr. Jenna O'Sullivan. I'm a board certified doctor of naturopathy. I'm also a certified master aromatherapist, or excuse me, certified master, all the names are crazy, a certified master herbalist and a certified French medicinal aromatherapist. And I am very passionate about healing our bodies naturally. Okay, so I want to be able to help you understand the new supplement that was just launched because we've gotten a lot of questions about it. And so I'm just going to answer some of the main ones that seem to be coming up over and over again. So Cellergize is a brand new supplement from LifeWave that came out just this last weekend that is a powder supplement that you put into a drink. So you take a scoop or two, depending on if you want a half a serving or a full serving. A full serving is 2 scoops and a half a serving would be 1 scoop, into some water. You mix it in there and you drink it. Now, the premise is several fold, okay? Each of the patches through in LifeWave, right? So there's day patches and night patches, and each of the patches use what's called phototherapy or photobiomodulation. That means that's phototherapy where light is reflecting off of something, or in the case of say the sun is the original phototherapy. It hits your skin and that wavelength of light signals your body to trigger the production of vitamin D. Whereas these little patches all have very specific and different crystalline patterns inside of them that signals your body to produce specific amino acids. Okay, so this is really important science to understand. The technology here is unlike any other technology on the market. There's no other patch on the market that does what this does. So these patches, the LifeWave patch family, has each patch for its own right would trigger the production of specific amino acids and then combinations of peptides. So peptides are amino acids strung together. So if you take, say, X49, it is going to help your body signal your body to produce alanine, histidine, and lysine, and then take those that are producing those based on it already being in your body. Okay, so you got to have some raw material for them to make more, right? You can't be nothing in there. So you have to have some alanine, histidine, and lysine in your body. You also have to have some copper in your body. What it's going to do is it's going to take those, tell your body to combine them to create this power peptide called AHKCU, and then it's going to proliferate that. That means make more. It's going to increase those levels. Same thing with, say, X39. X39 is going to increase glycine, histidine, lysine, and combine it with copper. So you need those 4 elements in your body. So to create GHKCU. In the case of, say, the Eon patch or carnosine or glutathione, they all are actually based on mitochondrial stimulation, which then triggers the proliferation or regeneration of amino acids. Okay, so this is very important to understand that we need certain things in our bodies to help support that production. If we don't have certain things in our bodies, sometimes those things can't be produced at all. But if we have limited stores of certain things in our bodies, like I remember one person commented, like, I don't need glycine and lysine. I don't want to take glycine and lysine. And I'm thinking, you need it though. Like, we all need it. And if you have deficiencies in certain amino acids, you're going to have some problems. So when we start to understand the importance of amino acids and their role as it pertains to creating life enhancing peptides in our bodies, it's key that we have certain elements to help promote more of those, the production of those, right? So what we've found is, X39 alone doesn't need anything, and none of the patches need anything, but there's a small percentage of the population that doesn't feel any effects of the patches, or their effects are really slow. And that's because they either have a complete deficiency in certain amino acids or even copper, or they have a deficiency, meaning they have some, but not enough. So what this supplement is aiming to answer basically is the problem. It's trying to address the problem of making sure everybody has the right elements. Okay, so making sure that you have the right amino acid profiles for all the different daytime patches. This is just for the Cellergize morning, because there's another one that's coming later for the PM, for our PM patches. But I want you to understand that this is just to help. It doesn't mean that your patches didn't work before. So yes, your patches worked before. It's just an element of wanting to make sure that, okay, do we have the right elements? Do we even have enough potassium? Do we have magnesium, right? Do we have certain things that are going to help our bodies produce glutathione more abundantly, things like that. And so this is just supporting. It's a support. Do you need to be on Cellergize in order for the patches to work? Absolutely not. Do you need certain things in your body to help the patches work? Sometimes. Some of you eat really well, you drink a lot of water, you do a good job with your just diet and everything and your stress. So you don't, most of you that have that, your patches work really well for you. Some people, the patches don't work so well. So we do want to address these issues. So it's very few though. Okay, so that's where I think some of the confusion came in. Is a 96% efficacy rate. Actually, it's more along the lines of 100% effective rate, meaning all of the patches. It's that a patch may not work for you because you don't have the right elements. So for instance, let's say you were on X39 and it was working really good, and then you decided to add X49, because those are like really amazing sister patches. Like, they work really well together. And let's say you saw no difference and you're using X49 and you're like, I don't see or feel or notice any difference, and I've been doing this for 6 months. And then you tell me, Jen, I'm a vegan. And I'm like, oh, okay. You don't have any alanine. You need an alanine supplement. Vegans don't get alanine. You can't get alanine. It's an amino acid. You need to take an alanine supplement. Okay, so this is really important. And again, for me, in my sphere of influence, the people that I tend to talk to are a lot of women, and a lot of women going through menopause, but also a lot of women who have thyroid issues. So in my circles, a lot of the women are told by their doctors and practitioners to not have any extra copper, that copper toxicity is bad. It is, obviously, but when you have thyroid issues or some other hormonal issues, a lot of people will tell you to stay away from every single copper containing food possible, like really limit it and don't have anything copper. It's because their bodies may have too much copper in it already, so they're seeing this on their labs, and they're trying to help mitigate copper toxicity. Okay, well, the beauty here is that the patches are going to utilize that copper. The problem is because they've maybe been on a low copper diet trying to really eliminate copper. Once the patches, some of people say, oh, I started X39, it worked so good for several months, and now I just don't, like everything just doesn't feel good anymore. You may have used up all your copper, and because you're staying away from copper, you don't have the elements. It's like, you can't make an apple pie without the apples. You can't make a copper peptide without the copper. So this is one of the interesting dilemmas that, we're seeing come up. So don't think that this is like necessary. It's just a potential answer to some people that are having problems. Okay, what's the biggest reason for Cellergize? The biggest reason. And I want you to hear me. This is the point where I want you to take notes clearly. The FDA dictates here in the United States that you cannot make a system function claim when you use a topical product. This is key. You can only make a system function claim when you consume something. So, what is a system function claim? A system function claim is saying my digestive system, that's a system function, is operating better. My my digestive system has healed so much that I no longer have celiac symptoms. That's me personally. Okay, and I don't know how it's going to work for you. Or my vision has corrected. I had an astigmatism and my astigmatism is gone. Okay, my vision is a system. Okay, not technically, but we can say it's internal function change. My hormones have regulated. I no longer have menopause symptoms. While the FDA doesn't care about menopause because they actually deem it as a non-issue. Thank you. We can talk about menopause all day long, but hormones, our endocrine system, is a system function change. So we can't make claims that anything internal changes when you use something topically. Okay, the problem with that is there's like 400 studies on phototherapy showing that it works. There's 200 studies from Harvard Medical alone, like showing that phototherapy actually works, the effectiveness of it. The issue is because we're selling a product, I'm a brand partner of LifeWave, and if you are too, you can't make a system function claim that something internal has changed by the use of a topical product. So when we introduce Cellergize, now the use of sea buckthorn root extract, okay, this is a huge important factor. The sea buckthorn has been documented and proven to help support healthy vitality, the health and wellness of stem cells. Okay, that's documented. So now because of that one ingredient, and we're consuming it, I can talk about stem cells as long as I talk about Cellergize with X39. That's the key. So the addition of Cellergize, even if you choose not to consume it or eat it, doesn't matter. It's just what you can talk about now. So whenever I talk about stem cells in conjunction with X39, I must talk about Cellergize. Okay, this is really important. Okay, so now I want to just address some of the issues that some of you have had about the ingredients. The maltodextrin is not typical maltodextrin, and so some of you have a really hard time with, like I do too. As a herbalist, I get really uptight about synthetics. I don't want to put synthetics in my body. I don't want to put isolated nutrients in my body. It's fine. Everybody has a different thing about what they can and can't do. Now, what I want you to understand is the line item for the ingredients for the maltodextrin is actually called Fibersol 2. Okay, so it's called Fibersol 2 digestion resistant maltodextrin. Okay, so it's very different than normal maltodextrin. Okay, because this is something that doesn't digest in your body. It actually is a prebiotic. So a prebiotic is fiber that doesn't digest at all. What it does is it feeds the probiotics. So you have good gut bacteria that you want to give them food. And this is that. Okay, so I have no problem with this specific ingredient at all. There's one problem, though, that a lot of people could potentially have. It's made from corn. Now, this begs the question. Corn, highly genetically modified item in the United States here. Very few corn items are non-GMO. I want you to understand that the specific registered, trademark, patented item, Fibersol 2, okay, this is important to understand. That's how it's listed as an ingredient line. It's called Fibersol 2 digestion-resistant maltodextrin. And all of you who are freaked out just see maltodextrin. It's not that. This is a specific brand. Fibersol 2 is made from non-GMO corn, FDA, recognized as a consumable. It's not a problem, okay? The only problem that you would have with Fibersol 2 is if you are allergic to corn. And some people are. Actually, a lot of people are. So that's kind of a little bit of a bummer that it's corn. But that is what it is, okay? So just know it's not a bad thing. It's just a potentially for some people. It's the same thing with like stevia. I have no problems with stevia in small amounts. There's very small amounts in here. Some of you hate stevia. Okay, not for you. You know what I mean? You can't love everything about a supplement. Some people are claiming like, is this gluten free? I don't know. I've talked to the company and asked them to please find out. There's no ingredients in here that I can see that would have gluten in them. I'm waiting to hear back. Usually, a product is not labeled gluten free for two reasons. It's one is because it's manufactured in a facility that could get cross contamination, and number two, it's like it's not certified gluten-free, so they just don't put the label on there. But there's plenty of products on the market that are gluten-free. They just are not labeled as such. You just have to do your due diligence. So I am in the process of getting that answer for you. So stay tuned. And then, citric acid, people have an issue with that. It's a preservative, but also in the world of isolated nutrients, which this is an isolated nutrient supplement, in that world, citric acid actually plays a really vital role in helping your body absorb certain nutrients better. That's a thing, right? The B3 that's in there, you need to be able to absorb that well. The vitamin C that's in there, the magnesium, citrate, the potassium, right? Those are things that have a harder time absorbing because they're isolated. And so when you put together a supplement of isolated nutrients, meaning, let me see if I can give an example here, like vitamin C in an apple, there's vitamin C in an apple. But did you know that there's 10,000 phytonutrients that have been found in an apple? There's more than that, but there's 10,000 that we have identified in an apple. And vitamin C is one of 10,000 phytonutrients that are really important. Now, we can't claim that the vitamin C alone is good. We do know that vitamin C in conjunction with other nutrients makes it more bioavailable. So that's meaning your body will recognize it. So this is why, as an herbalist, I'm always teaching you guys to please use plant-based supplements that are whole food supplements because your body recognizes it. When you don't have a whole food supplement, this is not a whole food supplement, this is isolated. You've got several nutrients in there that are isolated. Citric acid actually helps it become more bioavailable. So that's kind of necessary. And again, if you don't want an isolated nutrient supplement, don't use it, right? Find something else. But I want you to also be encouraged on, like, say, the natural flavors. Now, natural flavors, I know, is a big, like, difficult word for some of you because you understand the potential for it being an excitotoxin, right? These are specifically like fragrances. They're little fragrance molecules that are synthesized to excite your brain molecules. So when you taste it, it's not really a taste, it's an aroma. And that excites your olfactory system so much that it actually will explode brain cells. This is the reality of excitotoxins. It's like MSG. The problem with that is natural flavors can be, like, you can have on a label natural flavors, and guess what? That means MSG. It's real tricky because natural flavors can mean anything. But let me help you get an understanding of something. The term essential oil can also mean anything. Did you know that you could get a completely synthetic fragrance, and they are welcome to legally call it a pure essential oil? Not because there's a percentage of pure oil in there, not because anything other than the fact that the term essential oil can mean anything. It means fragrance. It can mean synthetic. It can mean natural. That's because that is what that term means legally to the powers that be, right? The FDA. Now, it's the same issue when it comes to the word natural flavor or natural flavors or natural flavorings. That term can mean that it is actually derived from natural nature plant life, or it can mean it's a synthetic excitotoxin fragrance. Okay, so it can be really frustrating, and I get it. Part of it for me is I wish that they had labeled the product better. Like, most companies nowadays are labeling their stuff, but then in parentheses, they're saying derived from. So they would take an item that was, whatever, like vitamin C, but then it would say derived from acerola cherries, right? So we know where it's derived from. And when I spoke to David about this at the Welcome Center, when we did the Elite SPD Welcome Center thing, I actually asked him about this specific issue as it pertains to the actual supplements that he used in here. And he said that the good majority of them are fermented. So that's a really important difference. And I wish they would have labeled that on the label, that it's like derived from fermented beets or whatever it is that they're using the fermentation from. So, we're going to get some more answers as we move forward. I want you guys to just be aware that this is not necessary. It's a great, smart, it's very smartly designed as far as the elements that he put in there. And if you watch the Vision 2025, he spoke about the really important elements, and it was great to hear, right, why things are in there. But remember, if you have a problem with corn, or you have a problem with whatever it is that you have a problem with in there, like stevia, some of you don't like stevia, it's okay. You don't have to drink it. Now, what I have chosen to do is do a half a serving in the morning as opposed to a full serving. So I'm on a ketovore diet right now, and that's just a little bit too much fiber for me right now. So I'm doing half of a serving, a little bit too many carbs, but again, I think it zeroes out to like 1 or 2 grams of carbohydrates, which isn't huge, but I'm really counting my carbs. So for me, I'm just doing a half a serving because I know that my body already has these nutrients in it. I'm getting enough nutrients. I actually do a really good job with that anyways, but I just encourage you guys, if you want to try it. It tastes great. I think that's not an issue at all. And I haven't had any upset stomach from it. I haven't had any bloating. Corn typically makes me very bloated. I haven't had a single response to it in that regard. So ask your questions if you like, but hopefully this has helped a little bit. As I get more information, I'll let you know, but it is a great product. If you feel like you haven't been having good success with X39, I would encourage you on it. And I think some of you who maybe have and want to try it. It's great. It's a good product. I bought 3 of them, so all good. All right, everyone, take care and have a great